What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Güero Paisa. Just want to talk about my time when I was locked up with the woods, the woodpile, the woods, the white boys, me being white, running with the Mexicans, los paisas. Uh, in the beginning, interaction with them was very, very little. I mean, they didn't like me, and I get it. I understand why. And I didn't say nothing to them. They didn't say nothing to me. They weren't trying to like holler at me or talk to me, and that's cool. That's all good. I didn't expect them to. But I did have some cool stories like later on after I was there for a little while, like a year and a half, maybe. Um, what are my notes? When I was there, like I said, like a year and a half, some of the white boys I rolled in with, some youngsters, I was young too. They're about my age, 25, 27, in that range. I don't want to say they're skinheads, but they had that short hair, like almost shaved, and they stuck to themselves. Uh, they're a little rowdy, but I mean, they were cool though. They never kept me wrong. I never came at them wrong. But after a while, um, a couple of them, we had chopped it up. We had a little conversation, and I don't know why, but I guess this is how they started the conversation. They're like, "Don't, it's all good, Weddle. The only thing we don't like is that you say you're white." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, bro, I'm white." I was like, "It's just I'm white. It's just I grew up with Mexicans, so honestly, if I was to run with the white boys, with you guys, no offense, bro, I would feel out of pocket. I would feel out of place. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't feel good. I'll be like, I wouldn't be myself. So, and I go, that's no disrespect to you guys, man. You guys, do what you do. I got a lot of respect for you guys. So, but I don't see myself running with you guys because the only people I know is Mexican or Hispanic, Latinos, Salvador, Guatemala, Mexican, from all over Latin America. I mean, but mostly Mexicans. But that's all I know. That's who I grew up with. You know. So then they just kept telling me that they just didn't like the fact that I was white. I'm like, yeah, but I'm white. I guess they're trying to get me to say like it wasn't like I was running around telling everybody I'm white, but I guess when people asked or they heard, they would say he's white. So it was cool. We chopped it up. They said what they said. I said what I said. It was all good. Um, with that, um, what else happened some of the white boys? Oh yeah, there was a lifer. I don't know his name. White boy. He had a swastika on him. He was in the yard crew, and he was in my building. See his bunkie, level two Solano. Remember that level two Solano, yard four, level two, no sales. So I'm not bragging about my time. It's level two, dog. There was lifers there on that level two though. Um, well, his bunkie was the librarian, right? So I used to always fucking run to go to the library when they had the yard and to get my books. And a lot of times the guards would stop you, and we're all the way up to my building. It was building 23. I was at the opposite end of that. So I would run, and then the COs would see you. They'll like stop you, make you wait, just fuck you all over, so you don't get your books or whatever. So I found out that this bunkie I know first. I knew his bunkie. I forget his name. He was a librarian. So all I had to do was shoot him what I wanted, and he'll bring him to me. I didn't have to go to I didn't think we'll get him. He'll bring him to me. In return, when I had something he wanted something from the kitchen, I'll hook him up. I was a linebacker in the kitchen in Salone, so I would hook him up in that way. So it worked out. Well, his bunkie, the lifer, he would see that fucking allergy. Ugh. His bunkie would see the books that he was bringing back, and he saw that he was giving them to me, right? Mind you, I never had a conversation with his bunkie at this point, right? But later on, uh, he got at me, the lifer. He's like, "Oh, you read a lot of books on Ireland and Irish, the IRA," and I go, "Yeah, bro. I mean, my sangre and my blood is from over there, So I would like to know a little bit about it." He goes, "It's funny." He goes, "Every book that you read that I seen you bring, that my bunkie bring you, I already read them." He goes, "So I know." He goes, "I know where you're going." Like I already read them, so I know what you're going. And that's cool. He goes, "I like that." Yeah, it's all good, bro. It's my sangre, so I want to know a little bit about it. I don't be ignorant. That's cool. That's cool. He said. Another couple weeks, a month, whatever passed by. The lifer, his bunkie, right? Not the librarian, but the bunkie. He got at me again. He just told me, "Hey, Wedo." I'm like, "What's up?" It was summertime. He goes, You want some ice? Because they would give the people that worked on the yard crew ice. He worked on the yard crew. He would give me, he had a big old bag of ice. After he gave out to the whites, right? He said, bring me your cup. I'll hook you up. I'm like, all right. Brought him my cup that said, Weta Paisa. And he kind of looked at it and shook his head. It's all good, though. He went and filled my cup up with ice. And no lie, homeboy brought me like 3 or 4 Cokes, cans of Coke. Like, it's summertime, bro. We don't even get ice. You know, only yard crew would get it because they worked in the yard. It was hot as fuck. So, that fool hooked it up. The homie hooked it up. The white boy, the lifer with the swastika. He gave me the sodas for free. I go, what I owe you, bro? He's like, no, it's all good, homie. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, don't trip. I'm like, all right, I appreciate that. And that conversation, I wanted another conversation with some other white. Well, with him, it was all good, you know. And I don't know why he reached out to me. I can assume, but I don't know. I think a lot of it had to do with the way I carried myself because not just him, but other lifers, black lifers, Africanos, there were lifers, Bloods, Crips. They would fuck with me, like talk to me and bullshit and have a cool relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like we could actually chop it up at times and talk. Uh, I could with a lot of lifers, and they reached out to me. I mean, I don't have no say so in it. You know, it's like not my say so. It's up to them if they want to talk to me. But the way I carried myself played a part. Not that I was a badass. I was actually real chill, quiet, mellow. You know, I didn't talk a lot. I listened more than I talked. And I was from LA, so the Bloods from LA, some of the lifers were cool with me. Some of the Crips that were from LA, lifers that were cool with me. The white boy, the swastika dude, I don't know. He was a lifer. I don't know where he was out of. So I guess a lot of these lifers got at me just the way I carry myself, and you know, I learned something from them. They would point out little things here and there, and something that at 27 I wasn't seeing, I wasn't looking at. But what else? There was another white boy. This was before I was linebacker. I was in the chow hall. The only paisas that were with me were 2 old men, an old Salvadorian dude and an old Mexican dude, and myself. I was like 27, like I said, 28, whatever. Uh, there was something going on in the yard. We already knew it was going to be down. The paisas are going to go at it with the white boys because something happened in building 20. I want to say some paisa from Sinaloa was lending out some drugs, and the white boys didn't want to pay. Right? So they didn't want to pay, and so some of the white boys there were some white boys with me in the chow hall. I was with 2 older paisas, and there was like maybe 3 or 4 youngsters, big white boys, right? I had no beef with them. They were chill. I was chill. But I already knew that something was going to jump off in the yard that night because I was passing out silver and second to the last building, the paisas got at me. I think they were from building 20. Yeah, it had to be building 20. They said that they asked me how many buildings is left. The paisas told he asked me. I told him just my building's last. After you guys just that and that's it. So he told me like, okay. He goes, pues dile a los paisas que vamos para la yarda. Like let's go to the yard at night. Make sure all the paisas come out to the yard tonight. Algo pasó in building 20. Something happened in building 20. I'm like, okay, yo hablo con los paisas. So I told a couple of paisas. I guess one of them, 2 paisas. One of them, I went, thought I was joking, I guess, or didn't understand what the fuck I was saying because he was like laughing a lot. I don't know if he was drunk or what. But so I told another paisa. Now this other paisa, we were cool in the beginning, but then me and him got into it a little bit. We actually got into a little fight, you know. I had him in the corner, like choking him out, and the paisas had to come and get me off him. And then the guards didn't catch him because that dude was fucking. I was sick at that time. I didn't want to be bothered. That fool kept bothering me. It was just stupid, you know. So we both of us got in trouble for that little fight. Um. Anyways, he was the second paisa I told. Hey, dile a los paisas que todos vamos para la yarda. Algo pasó in building 20. Something happened in building 20. I didn't know the details, you know. So I did that, and I only like a regular amount of paisas that would go to the yard at night came to the yard. Not all of them, right? Like probably half. Like fuck. So I'm watching this through the door. We're already done feeding, so now we're waiting to get let out to go to the yard, or to finish our job. You got to wait for the guard to come and let us out. And you might be in there for like 2 hours, an hour and a half after you're done feeding, or maybe an hour after you're done. So I'm over here watching through the window because I already told the viejitos, los paisas that was with me, the 2 paisas that are older. I told them, hey, that algo pasó con los güeros. So I'm watching through one. There's 2 windows, right? That's the only ones you can see out of. The blacks were looking out one window. I don't know for what reason, but they had that door, and I had the other door. and something was going on in the yard, right? You see I heard the alarm, see people running, like fuck that. I don't want these white boys to see, like fuck. There's like big white boys, bro. There's like three or four of them, man, and it's just me and two older dudes, like older dudes, old. So they're like, oh, let me see, Wedo. I'm like, okay, in a minute. Oh, we'll check out the other one. I didn't want them to see. So finally they got to see, and they're like, oh man, I think it's what do you say? He goes, oh, I think it's the Norteños and the whites. I think we're going at it with the Norteño. I go, oh yeah, maybe, bro, maybe. Me all along knowing that, like who it was, what it was. So that kept us in there a little longer. Then obviously they had the yard down. They let us out when the yard was down, and then with that, everybody got recalled. The whole yard got recalled, obviously. And it turned out the bison from Sinaloa, some little dude looked like a little kid, was fronting some white boy in that building some dope, and he was lagging the pay. So the paisa got tired of waiting, and he kind of asked him like, "Hey, when you gonna pay me the feria? When you gonna pay me the money?" And the big white boy, finally was tired, and he goes, "You know what? I ain't paying you shit," or something to that effect, from what I understood, right? But he said he ain't gonna pay shit. So that little paisa, and he's little, and the white boy's big. Like he's a big, tall dude, kind of like heavy set, or not buff, but like not fat, but not buff, but had some weight on him and some height. So the paisa takes out a little fucking shank and starts shanking that fool in the stomach, right? Boom, 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 boom. Now this is told from a paisa that was in that building, that he ended up going to my building later on for some other reason. He went to the hole, got out, and went to my building for some other pedo. He's the one who told me what happened. He said the paisa from Sinaloa started booking that fool, the white boy, like, bam, right in the gut. Lots of times, and all along, the white boy's just like dropping like bombs on the top of the head of the paisa because he's so tall and the paisa's so little. So he's just like, boom, just fucking dropping these bombs on him. And the paisa that was telling me the story said that he was like, fuck. It looked like the paisa was like already gonna like pass out, right? Because he was like got so many blows to the head. But before that happened, the white boy fell on his ass, boom, back with a bunch of holes, maybe 20 holes. I don't know how many, but they said it was a lot. It was a little shank. It wasn't like a big shank. But anyways, so he tried to get up. The white boy tried to get up. I guess it was too much pain. He couldn't get up. Right? It wasn't all bloody, but he had little holes in him. So I guess he couldn't stand up right away, or he couldn't stand up. So that's why that shit jumped off in the yard. But so I guess from what I understood is that a few of the white boys from that building chased that little Sinaloa dude throughout the yard or something. I don't know what happened, but he took off running, I guess, and the white boy was on his ass. But I have other stories with the white boys. Not all bad, man. Like I said, like I got along with everybody, but we always had that racial thing. So like just because we're cool don't mean like if shit jumps off, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Mind you, it's a level 2. Not too many people are getting stuck or anything like that. It's usually this putazo, just fucking fist. But you never know. It could go crazy too. So keep that in mind when you talk about level 2. It can go either way. It could be pull out shanks. It could be anything. With that said, just to say one love to all the races out there. We're all the same. Let's keep pushing positivity towards one another. Anybody wants to leave a comment, ask me anything, go ahead. I'll get back to you. Let's just keep comments respectful. No disrespect. I won't have it. But you feel free to ask me anything you want. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get back at you. With that, please like, subscribe, and share if you can. I appreciate it. With that, I'm out. One love. Peace.